Tape Zoo by Tone Empire is an emulation of the Zulu tape emulator. That means that this plugin is an emulation of tape. The original hardware has become somewhat of a studio secret and really has its own tone and character, which sounds like tape. Full disclosure before we continue, this video is sponsored by Tone Empire, but they did not see this video before it went live and they had no influence on my opinions and what I say in this video, like it should. And most important for myself, I never agree to do a sponsored video if I don't like the plugin to begin with, so that's a spoiler. This Tape Zoo plugin, like other Tone Empire plugins, is all about capturing hardware with neural networks. But Tone Empire has included functions to add more functionality in comparison to the original hardware. One way to look at this plugin is that it is like working with tape, but more flexible. It really is about the tape aspect as well, and the original hardware is a passive unit. It's rather subtle. If you expect a huge tonal difference with this plugin alone, this is not so much happening. It's more about a subtle character change if you compare with the untreated audio you use it on. A first example of that is this next acoustic guitar. I have rendered a version with the settings you see here below and level matched the rendered version with the original. You can hear and see how the acoustic guitar sounds fuller, more constant, and how the attacks are way more rounded off in the rendered version. This subtlety makes it also great to use it on the master bus. It can nicely tuck in transients and increase the perceived loudness. It works more like a maximizer in that regard. Later in this video I will show the plugin on a multi-track drum recording and how much of a difference that can make. But if you like this breakdown so far, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now there are a bunch of controls on Tape Zoo. You get different tape emulation settings which are all slightly different in both EQ curve and which harmonics they add, and have slight differences in transient behavior. The dark setting has the biggest different sound. With the tone dial, you basically also change EQ curves and harmonic spread. It's worthwhile to toggle between these and the tape selection to find the best fitting sound. The bias is your input drive, so to say. It also introduces a slight tonal change. The ceiling dial works like a threshold. With real tape you have to push the input to drive into tape compression and saturation. But since this is an emulation of an emulation, you get separate control of this. When I really turn it down with these settings, you hear the compression behavior and some distortion. The release is very audible. I had a lot of fun with the Spatial dial. You can do crosstalk and aura. With crosstalk, the left and right channel will bleed into each other. The fun one is aura. This emulates the misalignment of tape heads on a tape machine, and I found it to work great on drums. It sounds like the room increases and the drum sound also gets bigger and massive. Now, because the original hardware is a passive unit, the plugin is also more about subtlety. When you stack more instances up, and with that I mean one on each track in a multi-track recording, the improvement can still be subtle but very audible. Check these drums with tape zoo on basically every track. I have made sure the before and after have the exact same loudness in the loves. Let's skip to the end of this drum recording. Overall, with Tape Zoo, the drum sound is more polished, is more firm and has more depth. And luckily so, because what will otherwise be the benefit of using a plugin like this? When I dialed in the plugins, I found myself cranking up the enhanced dial for basically every instance. The slight high-end boost and added saturation this control provides just works nicely on these drums. This enhanced dial also increases level a bit, and I wished it didn't. So be aware of that, make sure to compensate with output trim to get a proper comparison. Now this plugin can be pushed, and for that crank up the bias as well as the input. It can do this with this snare. That's a big change in character, from short and snappy to wide and aggressive. Like I said in my disclosure, I only do sponsored videos when I really like a product like Tone Empire's Tape Zoo. It's great on drums, it's also nice on masters I find, or wherever you want tape-like compression and saturation. It's $39 at the intro, but as always, make sure to try it out yourself to find out if it fits in your audio toolshed.